Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. On behalf of the National Child Passenger Safety Board, we appreciate you joining us for key updates in the 2024 CPST certification training curriculum. This webinar is for CPSTs. We'll go over how to access the 2024 Technician Guide and some key updates in terminology. Today's speaker is the National Child Passenger Safety Board's curriculum representative, Tammy Franks. I'm Brittany Lombard, and I'm the CPS advocate on the National Child Passenger Safety Board. We do have planned time to answer questions at the end of the presentation, so please enter questions in the Q&A box. As a reminder, attendees are asked not to participate in the webinar if you are operating a motor vehicle. This webinar will be recorded, and you can listen to the recording when you safely arrive at your destination. The recording will be posted to the carseateducation.org portal within 1 to 2 business days. For the child passenger safety technicians in attendance, the presentation qualifies for the community education requirement and does not qualify for CPST CEUs. Please join me in welcoming Tammy Franks.
Thank you so much, Brittany. I appreciate the welcome. And I imagine everybody clapping in the background, right? All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Lots of updates to share with you today. Brittany, can you confirm that you're seeing my screen?
I'm seeing your screen.
Thank you, Kendra. Great. So as Brittany mentioned, today's webinar is geared to the National Child Passenger Safety Technicians. And if you are an instructor who is joining us, I did see lots of instructors on the call as well. We do have a series coming up on instructor updates. And that's called the Go Time series, where you'll have much more specific information about how to access all of the instructor resources, as well as how to get started and preparing to deliver the 2024 CPST certification training curriculum. So those are the dates and times that are scheduled if you'd like to sign up for one of those. And that you can find those signups on cpsboard.org/webinars. So we hope that you can join us for one of those. So let's go ahead and get started with the curriculum updates. So if you're a technician or anybody, I guess, who's joined us and hasn't seen the cover yet, I'm excited to share with you the 2024 cover of the Technician Guide. So the instructor guide will be similar with a green background instead of a blue background, so they're easy to distinguish. Please note a couple things about the curriculum. So the first thing is that we have an updated title. So we have dropped national from the title, and the curriculum is now called the Child Passenger Safety Technician Certification Curriculum, or training, excuse me. The reason that we dropped national is that we are pleased to announce a new partnership with Transport Canada in delivering this curriculum. So recognizing the importance of the safe installation of vehicle restraint systems and booster seats, Transport Canada and NHTSA have partnered together to create a joint curriculum for child passenger safety technicians. The goal of this partnership is to promote consistent child passenger safety across borders, in addition to providing nationally standardized trilingual training material to child passenger safety technicians. And yes, you did hear me correctly. We will be working on, over the next probably 6 to 8 months, translating the curriculum both into Spanish for use in the United States and then French for use in Canada. And Transport Canada will be leading the efforts for the French translation. So you'll see this information about this partnership reflected in Module 1, where we introduce the partnerships and the organizations who help to bring you the curriculum. So you'll see the addition of Transport Canada there in the top right-hand corner on the left side of your screen. Additionally, any information that is different, so Canadian-specific information, will be called out with a maple leaf symbol, as shown on the right-hand side there. So it's easy to distinguish the difference between the information that is relevant in the United States and how it differs in Canada. Anything that is in a Maple Leaf callout or Canadian specific information is optional to teach in US based classes. So I'm sharing that with you because I'm hopeful after this presentation today, you'll all anxiously await downloading the technician guide, and then you'll understand what the Canadian callouts are when you see the Maple Leaf interspersed throughout the curriculum. I believe there's about 40 call-out boxes in the curriculum, and about 25% of them are in Module 6, which is lower anchors and tethers. So in trying to decide the best way to deliver this information to you, I opted to go module by module because there's many updates across the curriculum. And so let's explore it by module. So the first thing, first in module 1, in the introduction, you will see that we have updated the key statistics. So they are updated as shown there. They were current as the time that they went to print. And additionally, you will see that there are the footnotes or the sites for each statistic is located on that page. So we encourage you, if you're writing grant applications or need statistics for some reason, this is a great starting point. And then you can also look for, in case the statistics have been updated, depending on how much in the future that you're using these statistics. Okay. Additionally, you will see that the teach back philosophy that we've used in the 2020 curriculum, as most of you know as Learn, Practice, Explain, has been updated to Learn, Practice, and Educate. This change in terminology reflects the focus on the role of the child passenger safety technician as an educator, and will be reinforced by the introduction of communicating and communication with caregivers in Module 2. And then additionally, we are providing instructors with detailed information about the Learn, Practice, and Educate activities and the importance of delivering them. We know that practice is the most effective method for adult learners, and the feedback received during practice is also the most effective way to learn. And this will allow the adult learners to learn and apply their technical and communication skills throughout the training. So as I mentioned, we have an increased emphasis on communication throughout the curriculum. And so you'll see some reorganization of content. So Module 2 has been updated to communicating and educating, and I've highlighted that there. In the past, it was called the CPS technician role. And so we really want to focus on that communication piece and education piece, on both of those. And we're doing this through the Learn, Practice, and Educate activities, as well as other activities incorporated throughout the curriculum. Additionally, much of the material that was found later in the curriculum about effective communication techniques, for example, avoiding fear-based messaging, that has been moved to Module 2 to allow us to focus on positive interaction with caregivers and successful communication techniques as well. Other changes that you'll see in Module 2 include updates to the good, better, best explanation. So in the past, you may remember that we provided a very detailed explanation in Module 2 about car seat use and good, better, best, really providing all of the information of the course in about 3 bullet points before the students had really even had a chance to learn the material. So what we tried to do is simplify the example, and then and we provided one with graphics as well. So you'll see here that we're explaining good, better, best using a map scenario. And then you'll see that throughout the curriculum, so especially in the rear-facing car seats, the forward-facing car seats, and in the booster seat modules, we talk about good, better, and best and provide scenarios for each one, reinforcing this concept. So really helping all of us to be more mindful about accepting of caregivers' choices and being accepting of good and better while promoting best practices. Additionally, you'll see throughout the introduction of new activities that are called check form checks. These are delivered using the National Digital Car Seat Check Form. And these activities help to reinforce the concepts that are taught throughout the class and map them to the corresponding questions on the National Digital Car Seat Check Form. So you'll see those in Module 7 and in Module 9. 7 is the overview of car seats and booster seats, and Module 9 is forward-facing car seats. And then it's revisited again in Module 12 during the checkup event activity before the skills evaluation. So we're hopeful that that will help technicians feel more comfortable in completing check forms as they work, as they finish the class and go through skills evaluation and then finish the course and come out into the communities. Okay, so let's move forward and look at seatbelt systems. So one thing that we did with the seatbelt systems is that we looked at trying to simplify this module. So it was pretty confusing for students with ELR, ALR, switchable, all different types of retractors. So you will see that throughout the module, in Module 4 in seatbelt systems, that we are using the terminology non-locking retractor and locking retractor. We do briefly cross-reference both the non-locking, the ELR for non-locking retractor. And for the locking retractor, we really focus on switchable retractors. We do recognize automatic locking retractors. There's a brief call out on that. But we recognize that since model year 2008, most vehicles have met the lockability requirement using switchable retractors instead of locking latch plates. So we're looking at approximately 16 years right now. And by the time the curriculum is done, 20 years of vehicles with switchable retractors. So just know when you're working with technicians who have completed the 2024 curriculum, they may use non-locking and locking retractor as the type of retractor. Additionally, I encourage you to take a look at the updated flow chart of what locks a seatbelt for Module 4, found in Module 4, and I'll share later about where you can find these resources. So on this flow chart, we have identified the steps by retractor or latch plate. So if you look on the left side of your screen next to step 1, 2, and 3, you'll see there's a summary box pointing out that you're testing the retractor and that steps 4 and 5 are testing the latch plate. So there's been some minor updates to this. Right now are these steps 1 through 5, just really in wording, but I encourage you to look at that. But what you'll notice in Module 4 is that we have removed the reference to lock-offs at the end of this module. And the reason that we've done this is that the students have not yet been introduced to car seats. And so we felt that it was important for them to be able to focus on the seatbelts in Module 4. But don't worry, we're going to revisit this flow chart and I'll show you in a little bit where and why, and kind of explaining the adult learning theory behind the changes. So moving on to Module 5 and airbags, you will see throughout that we have the curriculum that we have these calendars as the icons on the left-hand side. And the calendars point out key dates or specific dates. And so, for example, for example, we say that for the frontal airbag, since model year 1998, some passenger vehicles have driver and passenger airbags that automatically turn on when the vehicle is started. So what we attempted to do was to provide a model year with each of the features in the vehicles. So in terms of looking at different types of seat belts and retractors and latch plates, as well as different types of airbags, and also the introduction of latch into the vehicles. We had moved towards saying older and newer vehicles. And when you talk about older or newer vehicles in terms of seatbelt systems versus older and newer vehicles in terms of airbags or in terms of lower anchors and tethers, those lower and older or newer and older can mean something very different. So we work to get to assign dates to those. And if either of the vehicle manufacturer representatives, current impasse, so Jennifer Pelkey or Emily Burton, are on the call, I really immensely give them a huge shout out for all of their help with researching that. And also past board members, thank you. I and made use of older versions of the curriculum to kind of to research dates that may have been available in older versions. So appreciate each of you and the talents that you've lended to that project, whether you knew it or not. So hopefully that's helpful information. The students are not required to know this. We don't require you as technicians to know this as well. But we really designed the technician guide in mind, keeping in mind that we wanted it to be a resource at checkup events or at inspection stations or during virtual car seat checks, post training. And so by having the model years in there, our hope is that if a student or a new technician is having difficulty identifying a type of system, that they could check the model year to see if that may be available in the vehicle in which they're working or in which they're helping a family. So let's move forward and look at Module 6. So lower anchors and tethers. For all of you out there, I encourage you to spend some time on this module when you have access to the curriculum. And this is probably the module where you will find the most updates to terminology. It's also been simplified a lot. We removed the information about 65 pounds minus the weight of the combined weight of the child in the car seat. We've simplified all of that. I'm sorry, we didn't fully remove it, but we simplified it because we're 10 years out from the change in regulations. So we were very mindful in how we refer to lower anchors or how we refer to latch, both in vehicles and on car seats. So the students could understand if we were speaking about vehicles or if we were speaking about car seats. So this is where I suspect that you'll see the changes and hear different terminology from students. So in vehicles, as shown here on the screen, we'll continue to refer to lower anchors and then tether anchor locations. And so I'm also showing you here on the right-hand side, you'll see one of our updated graphics. We work to update many of the graphics included in the curriculum, helping to provide a unified look. So this is where it gets a little bit different, and it's still taking me some time, I have to be honest, as I'm working on this, and I catch myself occasionally, but I'm getting there. I'm definitely getting there. So when we refer to the lower anchor attachment system, we may have there's two different types. We have a flexible lower anchor attachment system, as shown here, or we could have a rigid lower anchor attachment system. Additionally, with the flexible lower anchor attachment system, we have the lower anchor connectors, which as shown here are the hook style. We could also have the push-on style lower anchor connectors. We have the lower anchor adjuster. The adjuster helps to adjust the length of the lower anchor webbing. So we've also moved from using the terminology strap to using the terminology webbing throughout the curriculum. Additionally, we refer to the tether as shown here and the tether webbing. With the tether hook, that's the part that would attach to the tether anchor in the vehicle, and the tether adjuster, which would adjust the length of the tether webbing. So I will share with you later the glossary of terms and how to find that, which will be helpful as you're trying to remember these terms. And then we're also, you will find this information in the updated technician guide. So another addition is a new flow chart. We heard that loud and clear that technicians in the field love the the What Locks a Seatbelt flowchart. And a huge shout out to Audrey Eagle for her help in bringing this to us when we were developing the hybrid curriculum about borrowing lower anchors for the center seating position. So this new flowchart walks you through all the steps to determine if borrowing is allowed in that center seating position. So hopefully you'll find this as helpful as you did the What Locks a Seatbelt, and perhaps it'll even find a place at your check stations, maybe on your clipboard. So let's move on to Module 7. So a bit tricky for us. The federal standards, Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard 213, is in the process of being updated by 213A and 213B. And when 213A and B are fully in effect, Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard, as all of us have learned about, will sunset or end, meaning that it'll be gone, go to sleep, however you want to think about it, after 213A and 213B are fully effective. It's a little bit challenging to release a curriculum at the same time that updated standards are launching because there are petitions that are pending to NHTSA at the time of publication. So you'll see down there on the bottom of the page that I highlighted that these dates are subject to change. And we're already getting some date changes in terms of changes that are required to labels, which would involve which would involve weight limits for the children. So you're going to see that the way that this curriculum is written will be reflective of the new standards of 213A and B. And where you'll notice this the most is in the weight limits for the car seats. So for example, if you were to look in the forward-facing module, you will see that the lower weight limits for the starting weight limits for forward-facing car seats is 26.5 pounds, which is reflective of the new standards. So we are kind of in a transition period here. We have provided information to instructors to let them know that we'll still see car seats definitely in teaching kits and also coming through check stations or checkup events or inspection stations meeting 213. But as we phase into 213A and B, you're going to see differences in labels. And so as much as possible, we've tried to use updated labels because we need to make this curriculum usable over the next 4 years. So we're just kind of in this odd transition right now. So just know that if a student or a new technician questions this with you, that may be why, is because they learned with the updated standards. We've also done some updates to terminology. When referring to car seats, so in terms of what we have called in the past rear-facing only car seats, we have moved to calling them infant car seats. And we did this for several reasons, but we really worked to align terminology with the Society of Automotive Engineers. And then we provided a cross-reference as well, so that everybody is aware of the different terms that could be used. So most notably, it would be infant car seats where the change was made. And then recognizing that some car seat manufacturers may also refer to them as rear-facing only car seats, which may be the terminology that you have used in the past. And I'll point out another difference in just a couple slides. In Module 7, you will see that we have also included a update or a new section that talks about other international standards for car seats and explaining the difference between non-compliant and fake car seats. So recognizing that we're seeing more and more car seats that may be fake or are coming in from other countries that may be non-compliant car seats, we wanted to empower technicians from the start to, one, help be able to recognize them, but also to have a better understanding about whether a car seat is non-compliant, meaning it does not meet US standards. So that would be 213 currently, and then 213A and B, or if it's fake and doesn't meet any standards. And so there is definitely a difference. We don't want to create alarm for families. Either way, there you would not want to use a non-compliant or a fake car seat in the US, but the way that you would explain this to families may differ. And so we wanted to begin building that knowledge base. It's just a basic introduction, and we really encourage technicians who are interested in learning more about this to follow up with CEU webinars that are available on this topic. In helping to standardize delivery of the 5 steps of correct use, we work to identify and implement 5 simple terms to describe the 5 steps. And these are used consistently for rear-facing car seats, forward-facing car seats, and booster seats. So in the past, we've used 5 steps that were a little bit different for booster seats. And so you will note that the icons that are supporting will be different for rear facing, forward facing, and booster. So the little round circles, but the name of each step will remain consistent for all 3 modes of use. So rear facing, forward facing, and booster seats. And those are selection, direction, location, adjustment. So meaning either you're going to adjust the harness on a car seat to fit the child, or you'll adjust the booster seat. So it could be that you're raising the back height of the booster seat. It could be that there's no adjustment on a booster seat. And then installation. And so installation would be securing the car seat or booster seat to the vehicle seat. So hopefully that helps and is a little easier for students to remember as well. So selection, direction, location, adjustment, and installation. I like the way those kind of roll off your tongue, nice and easy. Looking at continuing on in Module 7, we have worked to update the terminology in the curriculum when talking about children who have specific transportation needs. So we have moved away from using special needs. That is something that's being done nationally by organizations who work with children with disabilities. So we have also worked to align the curriculum with that. So we've worked to update this section here in Module 7, so transporting children with specific transportation needs. And then when we talk about school buses, we're using children with disabilities. Also in Module 7, you'll see updated terminology in talking about the life of a car seat. So before we really focused on expiration dates. And thank you to Joe Koala who helped remind us that really we wanted to use useful lives of car seats and booster seats. And so we worked to update the curriculum to reflect this, talking about for how long we can use a car seat. We also updated the reasons that a car seat may expire. And that it includes updated performance standards, updated labeling requirements, and voluntary change design improvements, excuse me. And all of this aligns with the JPMA's statement as well on the useful life of car seats. And then finally, thank you to MACPS for their suggestion of incorporating a section about useful resources for using car seats and booster seats, and reminding all technicians that the primary resource for the correct use of car seats and booster seats is the manufacturer of that seat. So, and really really encouraging caregivers and also child passenger safety technicians to reach out to the customer service department for that car seat or booster seat manufacturer, as many of them are trained trained child passenger safety technicians, or also reaching out to the liaison or the advocate for that respective manufacturer. So let's move forward to no pun intended, I guess, but let's move forward to rear facing car seats, or maybe backwards to rear facing car seats. So we I have done some update in terminology as well. And you will see that we've updated to using the term chest clip on first reference. We will cross-reference as retainer clip and harness retainer clip. But we heard you loud and clear. This is caregivers refer to this as refer to the chest clip as a chest clip. And so we looked at some other sources and they were using chest clip as well. So we did update that terminology, but we do include the cross-reference to harness retainer clip and retainer clip. And additionally, we've moved away from harness straps and refer to harness webbing. And so you will see us when we're talking about the pinch test to pinch the harness webbing or to adjust the harness webbing as well. In terms of tightness when you're doing the securing the child within the car seat. Then you'll see a whole new section in the rear-facing car seats about energy management features. So this is not an exhaustive list of energy management features, but there are some. We focused on some key features that you may find on car seats that are currently available in the market that may come through the check stations, and so that includes section, and there's about a page each in the technician guide is shown here. For anti-rebound bars or panels. There's one on load legs or foot props. On European belt routing. So we just had a brief message and a brief mention in the past about European belt routing, and we call it out this time. And we actually have some images incorporated throughout the curriculum showing that European belt routing, helping to build awareness of that type of routing as well. And then also rear-facing tethering. That you'll find that information too. Now this is where it gets fun. I'm very excited from an adult learning about this change in the curriculum. So remember back to Module 4 when I said we removed all mention of lock-offs because the students hadn't learned about the car seat, and we really wanted them to be able to focus on the what locks a seatbelt before we talk about lock-offs. Now, welcome to Module 8. That see there right by step 1. It's highlighted in yet a new step of what locks a seatbelt. And that question says, does a lock-off feature? And if the answer is yes, and the vehicle manufacturer permits the use or allows the use of the lock-off, no further lockability checks are required. Now, the amazing thing from adult learning kind of theory application is that by bringing back this flow chart in Module 8, it allows the instructors to do a quick review of then testing the retractors and the latch plates and to determine what locks the seatbelt. So if there's not a lock-off present, they'll review the rest of this flow chart. And the reason that this is important is that, as we've mentioned, practice helps with retrieval, helps them to be able to access the information when they need it. But additionally, it allows them to review what locks the seatbelt right before the students go outside and do the car seat installations for the rear-facing module. So very excited about this change, and hopefully you guys will like it as well. So when we share what locks the seatbelt, we will be sharing that flow chart for you. We will share it with this new step 1 with the lock-offs at the beginning of the flow chart. And thank you. I know there's countless people on this call who sent in suggestions that lock-offs needed to be at the beginning of the flow chart rather than at the end of the flow chart. So we appreciate all of those recommendations from the field. Additionally, we wanted to make certain that students understand the difference between lock-offs and tension devices. So it might be other terms, maybe like a belt tensioner on a car seat, but we wanted to make certain that they were aware that there were that there were tension devices that make they look very similar to a lock-off, and to share this information so that they are aware of it as they begin working with car seats, and hopefully then also question when the car seats come into the check station. So I hope that all of you are also being mindful of that in terms of making certain to confirm if what you're finding on a car seat is a lock-off or a tension device, because they can look very similar. Okay, let's move on. Now let's move forward to forward-facing car seats. Sorry, I can't see if anybody's laughing at my puns. Not too many changes in Module 9. One of the big changes is that you'll see that the first reference to built-in car seats has been updated. So in the past, we referred to the first reference as integrated. We're now referring to them as built-in car seats. And this aligns with the terminology used by NHTSA for this type of seat. We know that they're rare in the field, but we still feel the importance of including them in the curriculum. And so therefore we will use built-in as first reference, and then with a cross-reference integrated. You will also see this in Module 10 for booster seats, where first reference will be a built-in booster seat instead of an integrated booster seat. Okay, so let's move forward to booster seats and seatbelts. And as I mentioned earlier, really the big change in this module is that we moved to built-in boosters. So that's pretty easy, slam dunk there from integrated booster seats. So then moving forward to other vehicles, you will see that there are some updates. We did expand the section on 15 passenger vans, but we added 2 new sections as well. So we added a section on recreational vehicles. We thought it would be much longer, but basically when we started writing it, we realized that that we were deferring to the vehicle owner's manual of the recreational vehicle, and that best practice is to use a towable recreational vehicle while with the passengers riding correctly secured in the towing vehicle. So for example, in the middle of the page on the left-hand side, using that type of where a towing vehicle is used to transport the children or other passengers as well. And then we also added a section about low-speed vehicles and golf carts, and stressing that they're not required to meet the same federal standards as passenger vehicles. And typically car seat manufacturers prohibit the use of car seats and booster seats, both in low-speed vehicle and golf carts. And best practice is to use a passenger vehicle to transport so that all passengers can be transported safely. We do provide an explanation in the instructor manual about the differences between low-speed vehicles and golf carts, and it has to do with the speed that they're able to go and whether they're street legal or not. And then finally, the other big change that you will see is that on the inside back cover, we have updated. This used to be on the inside front cover of a technician guide. It's moved to the inside back cover, and it's been greatly updated, but a quick reference guide for CPST resources. So we hope that this is helpful for you, that you'll grab your technician guide, just flip to the back cover and be able to find the information as shown here from many different partners, program partners across the United States and Canada. And then additionally, some of the websites that you may use in terms for certification and recertification. So taking you to the different training websites, as well as the YouTube channel. And then finally, at the bottom of the page, and thank you to Amy Artuso for suggesting this, we added a site or information on how to cite the technician guide. So if you're citing the technician guide in research or in a document, this helps to promote consistency and helps with searches, literature searches later on. So that information is also available there for you in a standardized format. So thank you. All right, so let's move on and talk a little bit about the launch information, and then we should have time to answer questions. So please feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A. So in terms of the launch information, we have set up, we meaning the National Child Passenger Safety Board, and with Ron Kramer's help, and we just appreciate Ron so much, have set up a web page dedicated to all of you in the field to support the 2024 curriculum launch. So you will see here that if you go to cpsboard.org/2024 curriculum launch, and then scroll down, that's what that little animation was. I'll come back and show you that again. There you go, boom, scroll down towards the bottom of the page. You'll see a section for technicians. At the top of this page is a section for instructors because they are the ones who need to most access the updated resources in order to be able to teach the curriculum. And then we have a section for state and territory coordinators and a section for technicians. So what we're trying to do is put kind of the hot links for everything in one place so that you guys have one place to go. Anybody across the country who wants to know, like, find something for the 24 curriculum launch, you can go here. So just know that this website or this web page is very new in development. We are continually adding information, and I'll share some key dates with you. And it will be up. It's being updated almost, at least weekly, if not more so, over these next couple of weeks. So a couple of key dates for you. December 2nd, Monday, December 2nd, in case you're counting, that's in about 12 and a half days now, is the digital launch of the curriculum resources. So you will, if you go online to the 2024 curriculum launch page that I just showed you, you can find the links to take you to where to find the curriculum resources on Monday morning, December 2nd. Just for your awareness, on February 3rd of 2025, that is the first day that courses on either delivery format, so either the in-person or the hybrid delivery format, will be using the 2024 curriculum. So it gives instructor teams approximately 2 months or a little over 2 months to fully prepare the materials. To review the materials and be prepared to deliver the 25 curriculum. So what resources do we have available for you as technicians? So we have been working to build out a page dedicated to the curriculum resource for technicians in training, and this change has already been made. So before, we used to kind of commingle the public resources for instructors and the public resources for students. And when you went to curriculum resources, that it was all kind of there together. So what we've done is to really help instructors know where to find instructor materials and the field to know where to find like supplemental curriculum resources. We've divided those out, or for students to be able to access the supplemental curriculum resources. So now if you go to cpsboard.org/curriculum-resources, you'll find the supplemental materials in accordion files under the technicians in training, sorted by module. But up there at the top, the orange arrow is showing you coming soon. So on December 2nd, that button will be live, and you will click that button and it will take you to a new curriculum resources page, which will include the updated resources for the 2024 curriculum. So you'll be able to find a copy of the technician guide there, as well as any supplemental resources that are available at that point in time. The 2 pages will live for 2 months. So we have to maintain the 2020 page because we're still running 2020 classes through starting until February 2nd. And then we'll have the 24 page. But we also want to make the 2024 page active so that you can see what's available starting on December 2nd. So then in early February or on February 3rd, we will swap those until all courses that were started under the 2020 curriculum have finished, and then we will retire the 2020 page. So basically, just check the button at the top of the page, and we will make it a little bit clearer what view is available as your default view when you go into the curriculum resources page, and then also the button, it'll be very apparent whether it's 2020 or 2024. Hopefully that all makes sense, but we just have to we have 2 months where we have to have both pages active, and then, yeah, but on either side, it's going to either be 2020 and then 2024. So the technician guide, it will be available, as I mentioned, for free digital download. It's about 356 pages, I believe. If you're looking to print it, it is, we have lots of updated graphics, pictures, images, flowcharts. So it's added to the page count. So if you are planning to print, just know it's about, I think it's 356 pages, I believe. I apologize if I'm wrong, but it's close to that. That will be available free of charge. That is available on December 2nd. If you would like to order a print copy, Safe Kids Worldwide has offered to make available print copies. They are for you to purchase. They will be $25 a piece if you would like your own, or if you want to order in a group. If you order 3 or more copies, they will be $20 a piece. They are working on updating the order form for that, and as soon as the order form is ready, we will include that on the 2024 Curriculum Resources webpage. Additionally, in the curriculum resources, you will find pullouts of the flowcharts. So if you'd like the flowchart from Module 6 for borrowing lower anchors for the center seating position, or from Module 8 of what locks the seatbelt, those will be available to print off. And as I mentioned earlier, perhaps use at your car seat checkup events or at your inspection stations. We really encourage you to use those if you find them helpful. Additionally, you will find the Child Occupant Protection Glossary of Terms. This is in the technician guide, but to make it readily available, we'll have this pulled out as well into a separate document. I really encourage you. I know it's probably not your idea of fun. It's kind of my idea of fun. It's 16 pages of definitions. How fun is that? And it is I encourage you just to give it a read through, or even just a glance, just to see what terms. I may have missed some today. I can't say that I caught everything in terms of an exhaustive review of updated terminology. So I encourage you just to do a quick scan. There's a lot of cross references on it. So I say 16 pages. There's a lot of like, see this term, but it'll be helpful for you as well. If you're interested in watching the videos, those are actually already live. So if you go to the board's YouTube channel at youtube.com/cpsboard.org, you will see the video playlist, or you'll need to click on playlist, and you will see the 2024 CPST certification training playlist. We've already had 317 views on it, so thank you to those of you who are out there exploring. You can, this includes many videos that you may not have seen. Some of them are from the hybrid curriculum delivery format that was launched in 2022. Some have been updated. I encourage you to watch the welcome video. Thank you to all you talented people out there who helped contribute to that. And I know that we also offer video number 50. So there's actually 50 videos on this list. Video number 50 is about how to access your Safe Kids certification profile, how to log into it. And I've already had state coordinators tell me that they are looking forward to sharing that link to technicians, new technicians who may not remember how to log into their Safe Kids certification profile. So know that that's on there as well. But I do encourage you to just take a look through all of the videos. Lots of updates. The NHTSA videos have been updated. The Safe Kids bubble wrap has been updated, and some great tips from the technicians in the field series. Those are all from the hybrid training. And then finally, you'll see updated supplemental resources. This was the one that was ready today to share with you. Thank you to Carrie Chosmer. I was so excited to see you were on here because I have you a shining star here on the front cover of our planning guide for the checkup events and inspection stations. So this is now available. It's already on cpsboard.org and our resource center, and it will also be included in curriculum resources. And so shout out to the team who helped update this as well. And then finally, if I've kind of piqued your interest, or maybe we have some people on here who are interested in becoming instructor candidates and you want to learn more, or maybe you just love curriculum and adult learning theory as much as I do, I encourage you to check out some of our webinars in the Child Passenger Safety Learning Portal at carseateducation.org. You'll find them both in the course catalog as well as in the National Instructor Forum subcatalog. And I highlighted them here. We've done the whys behind the curriculum, so a little bit more about the adult learning theory. We've done a little deeper dive into this presentation, more applicable to the instructors. And then also we've done one, certification has done one with the updates expected to the skills evaluations and quizzes. So those are available free for you to watch at your convenience 24/7. I'll leave this up here briefly and then turn over to, I'm not sure if it's Brittany or that, I think it's Brittany is going to lead the Q&A for me. And so we'll see. I'll stop sharing so you can see our faces.
Yes, and I am going to share a couple of finishing slides. If you've not yet typed your question, please go ahead and type it. We've had, first of all, a lot of excitement about the curriculum, which is really exciting. And I did want to share one thing that Emily Roberts noticed was the new page numbering, which is really exciting, that pages will no longer be 7-11 or 10-17. She was very excited to see the pagination of this module. So I wanted to share that. We do have a couple questions I wanted to have you answer here. So
Sure.
is the existence of rotating car seats referenced anywhere?
The rotating features of car seats is referenced in modules, I think 7 and maybe 8 and 9. We talk about rotating features on car seats.
Excellent. Another one that got asked a couple times are whether UTVs, side-by-sides, or any other special vehicles like that are referenced in Module 11.
So we stopped at low-speed vehicles and golf carts. We did not go into additional vehicles beyond that.
Perfect. We have a question from Noreen. What is the process for the hybrid class? It doesn't specify exactly what about the process. So Noreen, if you wanted to put in more information, that's great. I don't know, Tammy, if you wanted to just kind of go over when that will start.
Is that from a student perspective or from an instructor perspective would be a helpful clarification if Noreen's still on.
Perfect. So we can table that one if Noreen would like to add details. Is there a quick reference guide that highlights 2024 changes?
You just watched it. We will definitely, this is recorded, we'll post it. We don't have like a printout at this point in time. Perhaps we'll get there. I think it's a great idea. There's so many changes throughout. So, if you want to share this with other technicians in the field, I would encourage them to watch this webinar. And it's definitely something we can take in consideration as we move forward.
Yep, that also answers a couple of
probably January though. So
perfect. That answers a couple of questions about getting copies of the slides. As a reminder, they'll be posted to carseateducation.org within a couple of days. Let's see. Does the terminology change extend across the school bus curriculum?
So the school bus curriculum is not slated to be updated right now, so it'll be a couple years. But yes, every time we update curriculum, we work to update the terminology as well.
Perfect. And then I also saw a question from Carla Ramirez. Will all of these resources be available in Spanish?
Eventually, yes. So we are working on translating. We're starting with the in-person delivery option of the curriculum and all supporting resources into Spanish. I don't have a delivery date for that yet. I would say, let's say, maybe June, May, June of next year. If it comes earlier, then everybody be super happy, right? And if it's a little bit later, then you'll understand as well. So we've just sent it out to begin getting quotes to get it translated. So and as you can imagine, it will take some time.
Perfect. And there are a couple of instructor specific questions. So I would encourage those folks to join us for one of the Go Time webinar series designed, geared a little bit more towards instructors as they prepare for the courses. Let me just double check to see if I missed any others. I'm not sure if this is an NDCF team question, but someone is asking when the new car seat check forms will come out.
That would be an NDCF team question. So we can, if they want to
Perfect.
email it, I'd be happy to training@cpsboard.org. I'd be happy to forward that over as well.
Excellent.
And
Okay.
then I did forget to mention one thing. So if you're going onto the videos for YouTube, we have not finished the closed captioning quite yet. So what you will see is the auto-generated closed captioning, which isn't perfect, as we know. That anything that's auto-generated, there can be mistakes. So we are in the process of taking the approved closed captioning and we have to replace what's been auto-generated in the videos. Just know that if you find errors that we are in the process of updating those. And then also exciting, and I'll give Brittany a nod to this for their suggestion of this, was that in the slides now, the closed captioning will be available in the classroom for the videos. So if we have somebody who would benefit from that, it will be available in the classroom as well.
Perfect. I do have a few closing announcements here before you leave for today. So we hope that you're enjoying this NCPSB webinar series. We're really enjoying delivering them to you. We do hope that you'll join us for our December webinar for a CEU webinar about hot topics in child passenger safety. We also have two CEU webinars planned for January and February of 2025. So we will announce those soon. Please visit cpsboard.org/webinars to register, or you can scan this QR code on your screen. The webinar recording will be posted to carseateducation.org within 1 to 2 business days, and we really appreciate you joining us today. Have a safe day, and thank you for all you do to help keep child passengers and their families safe. Kendra, if you could stop the recording, please.